Hey, very welcome back to the channel. It is your man, Destroyer.
And AK Ninja.
Hope you're all well and having a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Today we are on Tales of Iron 2 Whiskers of Winter. So we have been looking forward to playing this game quite a bit. Okay, so here it is. Finally, without further ado, we bring to you Tales of Iron 2. Okay, so this is a brutal combat game, apparently. So, kiddies, you might want to look away now. The rat is dangerous.
In the north, they thought they knew all there was to know of war. Until the War of the Rift. While the Southern King hid, warm in his keep, the Darkwings cut their bloody trail from frozen north to winter's edge. Alone, the Warden and his small garrison turned their whiskers to the icy wind. At the end of hope, in a last barrage, they wiped Batkind from the land and memory. With no sign of the Darkwing's return, in time, few believed them little more than a fairy's tale. But at Mount Cauldron, time had been all they needed. An old enemy claws free of their icy tomb and hungers for vengeance. But not all is lost. King Rattus brings north a cause for hope. A bastard prince, placed in the paws of the Warden of the Wastes to raise as his own. A secret of blood never to be told. Now, fate calls for a hero in a murderous screech. And one young rat will answer. The stomp of his father's boots on the stair was how every morning began for Arlo. The booming shout to ready himself was louder still. But such was Lord Eivor's zeal at a new day. Dawn was breaking over winter's edge, and Arlo was yet to miss one.
Okay, so we do have some armor, which is cool. Got the dull Dragon helmet. Rough bone helmet. Okay, so we've got quite a few, but yeah. I think they might just be stat based on the side there. So some of them look a little bit better on armor, as in resistance. Some of them appear to be still have resistance, not as much, way more, but they have a poison and electric sort of thing. So it's going to be a hard choice. Alright guys, I'm going to go the rock bone shield. So it actually has electric damage and that sort of thing. I'm going to go the full bone armor to go with that. Meaning I probably won't be using poison this time, I'm going to be using electric damage. So the full bone left. Okay, so we've also got our choice of different weapons. So we actually have a Draugr axe, which is pretty sick. So that it does look pretty good, that armor. And that gives me a plus back on poison. So now I'm not... That's on damage for poison. No. Okay, so I'm going to run that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, should I put the Draugr blueprint on now, do you think, guys? Or should I just leave it in there? Okay, what if I lose it?
Oh, we just have it.
Huh?
We just have that thing.
Okay, I'll just have it. Cool. Still fine. Alright, sweet. So, the quick select, I haven't unlocked any of that yet. So we better get into it, guys. Without further ado, we bring to you the Rat Gang. He's a funny looking little guy. Where do we go? Oh, through the door? Obviously. What was I thinking? Let's go sit down, apparently.
The castle echoed with the horns of the returning hunters, bringing their night's bounty. Arlo's little heart quickened to hear it. The only thrill to be found inside the high walls was a hunter's tales of what lay beyond them. Arlo tells himself it's a good life here in Winter's Edge. The bustling of contented ratfolk, the crisp mountain air, and without the endless scourge of frogs the southerners suffer. Why should he want for more? Arlo has no memory of his mother, but Hilda's food was a true taste of maternal kindness. With the right ingredients, she would make meals nourishing to body and soul. Tiki's shop was perhaps Arlo's favorite, as the shopkeeper had wares from far and wide. But getting him to part with his curiosities was never easy. There was no time for tales of the hunt today. Lord Eivor was already dividing what was an excellent haul, happy to see his people provided for. Arlo longed only to join the hunt, to see the Ratdom or even the lands beyond. His father called it a fool's wish. Arlo's destiny was unshakable, much like the keep that would become his by birthright.
I'm gonna have my first little meal.
Chief Mason Leaf was the rat Arlo most admired. As younger brother to Lord Eivor, his carefree uncle never faced the burden of being Warden of the Wastes. With walls this strong, his duties were light, leaving him plenty of time for his nephew. Krunk was a rat's rat, with no interests beyond his forge. If you have the parts, this Mastercraft's rat can make armor and weapons that would see off a sky scorcher bite, or so he claims. Arlo wondered how well they'd do against something that wasn't a myth.
So I'll probably wait before I can afford a new set. That could be a error, but we'll wait and see how that plays off. Okay, that means the proof of the goods received. I guess I can upgrade the hunter's cap to put on one of my heroes. Let's see. I might even put that on to balance like that, so he's more neutral to poison.
The hunters had brought unwelcome news. A family of the reviled creatures ratfolk called backstabbers had moved into the wastes. Eivor told his son to fetch his weapons.
Now we can pass, let's go. Hang on, I'm not sure what that little blue lamp was, but I just missed. I'll go back and check. Oh, come on. I gotta be close to the door, hang on. There we go, so it's actually the same game now, I believe.
His father had no explanation for suddenly taking Arlo on a hunt. It even gave the hunters pause. Arlo had been taught to fight, and better than most. But rarely had he been tested. He was determined to prove himself. The rugged terrain of the outskirts could have taken all day to traverse, but Arlo's trusty grappling hook allowed him to swing between its many crevices.
So we found our first backstab. Okay, we better be careful of these things.
Arlo liked the feel of a sharp axe cutting through the vines. The wilds were part of his home, and nothing in them would frighten him. The famous frostberry bushes of the wastes were in full fruit already. Their juice made a healthy tonic, though Lord Eivor preferred them fermented. His father was a sturdy rat, built for strength, not speed. So Arlo found it curious that he challenge him to a race. The prospect of the hunt had filled Lord Eivor with a vigor that his son had not seen in years, or at least since breakfast. A warden fights the hardest battles, he told Arlo, and needs the sharpest blade. With that, Eivor gifted Arlo his own sharpening whetstone.
So we have sharpened the blade.
Whether these beasts were named for their spines, or for some past unforgivable deed, no rat knew. Either way, Arlo was about to find himself at the pointy ends of this brood. Even young backstabber Red attacks were brutal, but a well-timed dodge would see Arlo escape unscathed. This backstabber lived up to its name with its deadly white attack, but Arlo's shield could block the deadly spikes. This young one used vicious yellow attacks. Arlo had to time his parries perfectly.
So Paladin and people to the third backstabber.
This mother had left her young to fight alone, but the same could not be said of Lord Eivor as he leapt to his son's side.
So the first big monster fight thing, the backstabber's pretty strong on me.
was Lord Eivor's mighty blade that took her head. But the
Yes,
fight
finally.
was won together.
We're taking down the big backstabber. Okay, so who am I gonna put this on next to? Is half decent? Let's do. Oh, no, let's see. I'm not sure. We'll do it to the other guy. Storage, obviously. Storage. Okay, so the back end has taken over the backstabber there. Soon. I was actually able to farm that and get a backstabber hide, which brings toughness to armor and weapons.
Arlo basked in his father's pride, almost as warm as at the fire inside Winter's Edge. Triumphant and keen to tell the tale of his son's victories, Lord Eivor set to a night of drinking with the elders. Arlo was reluctant to return to his bed, wondering how long he must wait to hunt again. The booming footsteps that woke him this time were nothing like those of his father.
Okay, so we get some cool loot for dropping those two Darklings.
He had found his father. The warden stood alone, holding back a whole Darkwing army, their cruel Count Kazak leading them. His father charged, But the Darkwing Count was as fast as he was strong. The Winter's crown tumbled to Arlo's feet, now without a head to rest on. There was no time to grieve his father, as from above the Count revealed his greatest weapon, a Sky Scorcher. Not a fairy's tale, but an undead beast whose very breath could level kingdoms. And its eye was trained on Arlo. All that came next was a fog of bloodlust, snapping jaws, and the beating of leathery wings. But there could be no victory. Arlo awoke, groggy and warm to his father's shouts. Only he wasn't in bed. The warmth was from the fire that had engulfed Winter's Edge, and the shouts were his uncle's. The only other survivor of the Darkwing attack, Leaf was bruised and his hind paws barely steady. He'd seen villagers flee to the outskirts. Arlo knew it was up to him to make them safe. He'd know these anywhere. Krunk's smithy hammer and Hilda's chef's knife. Arlo wondered why they would leave them here. He'd know these anywhere. Krunk's smithy hammer and Hilda's chef's knife. Arlo wondered why they would leave them here. With the attack at Winter's Edge, no hunters had come to check their traps. Arlo thought he might find a use for them. the reason his friends had fled. The taunting shrieks revealed that this was Baron Frostovik, son of the Darkwing who took his father, and therefore a perfect target for his revenge. Found the reason his friends had fled. The taunting shrieks revealed that this was Baron Frostovic, son of the Darkwing who took his father, and therefore a perfect target for his revenge.
The Baron of Frostovic
His foe
has
was
been
beaten,
defeated.
but seeing what had been inflicted on Hilda and Krunk, Arlo's
Then
need
we got
for
the Darkwing
vengeance
Claw,
was
the
only
basic bat
growing.
shield. Let's go, the basic bat pauldron. Sick. Full upgrades, let's go, rats.
Arlo suddenly wished to be within the walls of Winter's Edge, to hear the boot and boom of his father at dawn, a sound he realized he'd never hear again. He needed to return to whatever was left and make his plan.
If you thoroughly enjoyed the rat as much as we did, it was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, the opening cutscene took a bit of beating. But there we have it, the rat's off to bed, and so am I. Make sure to stay subscribed. Until next time, this is your man, Destroying Ninja.